This is CNN.
Welcome back to another edition of CNN News. I'm news anchor John McDavid, and I'm here today with computer code professor Matthew Dents, who teaches at the University of California Tech. Mr. Dents, welcome to CNN.
Pleasure to be here, John.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Dents?
Well, I'm a professor at Caltech University. He used to be a black hat hacker, a hacker who would hack for malicious intent. I was then arrested and served 2 years in prison for identity theft until I was released at age 28. Then, Caltech saw something in me and wanted me to teach at their university. I've been a computer code professor at Caltech ever since.
Interesting. So you have experience with creating and using cyber weapons and scams.
Yes, but I only used them in my younger days as a black hat hacker.
What kinds of computer systems did you use?
Well, I only use computer frauds like Trojan horses and 419 frauds. Trojan horses were named after the mythological Trojan horse because they are both disguised attacks. They both claim to be one thing, but really, they have other goals. A 419 fraud is a fraud that poses as a fake auction site to trick the viewer into giving the hacker a large sum of money. You may have been a victim of one of these attacks in the Postal Service, which is where it originated.
Are there other programs that you could have used?
There are other programs out there, but they are not specifically made to scam people's money. They are computer systems that are named after biological illnesses because they do the same things, like computer viruses and worms. Computer viruses are like biological viruses because they both hitchhike on cells or documents to spread from computer to computer. Computer worms are like computer viruses because they can multiply on their own, like biological parasites. There are other programs like this, but they're not as popular.
These computer systems appear very abundant. What could they do other than steal from other people?
Well, other than scams, it really depends on who the hacker is or what kind of system is used. You won't use a 419 fraud if you want to start a cyber war, because you would use a computer virus to launch a weapon of some sort.
What do you mean by some sort?
Well, I said some sort of weapon because cyber terrorists can hack a device called a PLC, which is a programmable logic controller. These devices are wired to critical machines, like traffic lights, factory machines, and even government weapons like missiles. If a hacker got a hold of an American missile, they could attack one of the military powers, like Russia, and start a global war like that one X-Men movie. It's like what John Panetta said, the hackers could cause attacks as devastating as 9/11, and that a cyber attack could be like a cyber Pearl Harbor in the sense that they both could start a world war. Now, as I was saying before you cut me off, black hat hackers can attack all kinds of machines connected to computers, especially ones connected to PLCs. Because of the amount of defense they have, skilled hackers can jump right over the defenses like illegal immigrants coming into America. Basically, that's what hackers are mostly after, besides getting money or making harmful pranks.
You make hackers seem like they're so smart when you use the term skilled hackers. So how would they be intelligent in your opinion?
Well, I think they're intelligent because they have a creative and sneaky way they create programs. They use certain techniques like the 0 day, which is a very hard to find gap in the computer software that can be used to a hacker's advantage. It is a huge deal when one of these is found, and you either need to be extremely lucky or extremely intelligent to find a 0 day. Black hat hackers are also creative because they can take a plain program, like a computer worm, and modify it into a system like the blaster worm, which is a very effective program. They can also make other countless modifications, and it is possible that there will be greater ones in the near future.
Last question, how can our viewers, even our armed forces, defend themselves against black hat hackers and cyber terrorists?
Well, to defend against computer scams, I would carefully examine the URL address. Valid websites start with their URL address with https:// and 2 slashes. When fake ones start with http:// and 2 slashes, without the S. I would also recommend downloading antivirus software like Linux or Unix operating systems and scanning your device periodically for computer viruses. You could also use other programs like Windows Defender and McAfee to defend against cyber programs. Lastly, I have heard rumors that the United States military is equipping itself with antivirus technology and is training white hat hackers to create offensive strategies and attacks against corrupted nations, but it is not confirmed.
Well, thank you for joining us on this edition of CNN News. Mr. Denson, we hope to see you again. Until next time, I'm John McDavid on the Cable News Network.